Hey everybody, it's Stegan from the DPadDBags, and I have a game to share for you. I got it on the castit subreddit, which is basically a little community that's starting up on Reddit, where you can submit some replays and say, hey, I'd like someone to cast that, and amateur casters can go and say, hey, look, I'm looking to cast some replays. Does anyone have any for me? So it's a great place to build up just practicing casting, get your games cast if you really would like to see that. So it's pretty fun. We actually have a game between Jellypancake and DonQuixote. DonQuixote is the blue Terran up in the north, and Jellypancake is the red Terran over on the east. So this replay was submitted by DonQuixote. He says he's very proud of this game, so I'd like to see what it is. I believe this is Bronze League. So we are going to see some Bronze League style play, which is always fun. So we do have a standard wall off going for both players. They love walling off. And where the hell is my name tag? There it is. The Terran players love walling off against each other in bronze. I typically don't wall in Terran games. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I don't necessarily like to wall off against Terran. I always wall off against Zerg, and usually never against Protoss either. But so we do have the barracks going down for Jellypancake, and the barracks just started, as well as the refinery for DonQuixote. So we're to see he's getting an earlier gas, so we'll see if he's going sort of a gas build, if we're going to see some Blue Flame Hellions, if we're going to see some Marauders, or even some sort of early Banshee play. So we will see what we get out of him with that early refinery. It looks like he's only keeping one in it for now, but that may be him just forgetting to put workers in it, so we will find out if he has some sort of gas-heavy play coming. And we almost have the barracks down, and we do have the refinery coming down for Jellypancake. It's a little bit later than DonQuixote. He does have the extra worker as a result. So, and he actually doesn't have any workers in the refinery at all. He must have queued that worker back to the mineral line, so he just built that refinery just for the sake of having that refinery. He's like, look, that Vespine gas geyser looks lonely, so let's keep it warm. Though he did just throw his workers in it, so he does have 3 workers in that, and DonQuixote does have 3 workers in his gas. So, we do have both players with a single gas. Jellypancake is ahead on workers. So it looks like DonQuixote has stopped worker production. I'm not 100% sure why. We do have the tech lab coming down, so we're probably going to see some sort of Marauder play. We have this SCV just kind of hanging out outside. He doesn't know how to get back in. He needs that supply depot lowered so he can get back in. He's lonely. He wants to get back with his SCV friends. Both players, wow, that's a lot of queuing. That is a lot of queued SCVs. He just queued them the fuck up. And he's floating a shit ton of minerals, so he could easily be building at least 2 more barracks, but instead he opted for, there are the 2 more barracks, instead he opted just to queue a million SCVs. He also opted to not get the orbital command, which is a staple of the Bronze League. Terran players on the Bronze League hate the orbital command. I guess it gets in the way of their SCV queuing, I suppose. We do have the second barracks going down for DonQuixote, as well as a factory. And we have, it looks like he queued that SAV to build both barracks. He did. So basically, he spent their minerals to build both barracks, but he's not going to get his second barracks until basically double the build time for a barracks, which is stupid. He should have pulled 2 SCVs and did that instead. So he queued up 1 and 1, so he had 1 of each. So if we go to the Units tab, we see DonQuixote only has 15 SCVs, and Jellypancake only has 24 SCVs. So this is not a very heavy SCV game. Neither of these players really like getting minerals. So we do have a whole bunch of supply depots queued up because Jellypancake supply blocked himself really bad, so we can't get any more units out. And over on DonQuixote's side, we do have the factory down. Looks like another barracks is coming up, so he's going 3 barracks. He does have his eBay up, but he has no upgrades coming out of it. He does have Stim coming up, so we're going to see some Stim Marine Marauder. So it looks like and we do have the +1 coming up now. So it looks like he's going to go heavy Marine Marauder in this, in the early goings. Decided about 3 barracks. He'll probably go with some sort of some sort of tank play or some sort of medevac play. So we'll see where that goes. We have a 4th barracks coming down for Jellypancake. No expansion in sight for either player. Again, another staple of the Bronze League. They don't like to expand. They like to one-base everything. So we have 4 barracks, and from those 4 barracks, we have 3 Marauders. I always find that interesting that they build 4 barracks, and they've only have 1 producing units, which is a Marauder. So he has nothing coming from this one, which has a reactor on it, and nothing coming from this one, which has another tech lab on it. We do have a starport coming down for DonQuixote, so we are going to see maybe a Banshee play, because we're going to swap that there, or he's just going to pump out some medevacs. In terms of units, we have 2 Marauders and 4 Marines for DonQuixote, and we have 4 Marauders for Jellypancake. He also still does not have an orbital command. He does not like that orbital command. DonQuixote has been sitting at 26 supply for a good amount of time. He does finally have his SCV building more supply depots. The starport has finished, so we're going to see what we get coming out of that. Or is it just going to sit like every other building that he has? So we do have combat shield coming down, so he's sticking with the tier 1 bio. Does have the one upgrade almost done. And also in production he has concussive shells. And it looks like we finally have an expansion coming down in this game. And it looks like Jellypancake is getting a very, he's very insistent on that split. Unfortunately, 4 Marauders split is going to do almost nothing. Well, let me take that back. No, it'll do almost nothing against 8 Marauders and 6 Marines. So this is a very low unit count game. Like, DonQuixote still only has 16 SCVs. He's completely cut SCV production. He's actually sending all of his SCVs right into that gas. He has more gas than he knows what to do with. I mean, he's only building Marauders. And on the other end, I like how Jellypancake has more minerals than he knows what to do with. He has at least 2 barracks that he's just never been using, so he decides to expand. Like, I'm all for expanding. It actually... it's probably one of the better things you could do in this game, but at least be spending your units before you tack on making more units. And if you look, he's queued up a shit ton more SCVs, and he has no army queued up, so I don't know what he's doing. And he has this protectorate of Marauders hanging out around the expansion, because, I mean, if any army comes in more than 6 units, those Marauders will die one by one as a result of that attack. So we're going to see where this game eventually goes. It's we've seen 0 action whatsoever. I'm not sure either player has scouted each other. Jellypancake actually has no idea where DonQuixote is. I have no idea what his game plan is. I don't think he's going to do any sort of aggression. He certainly doesn't know where he is. And then on the other side, DonQuixote only knows that Jellypancake has a barracks, 2 refineries, and a command center. He doesn't know about the expansion. He doesn't know about any of the units he has. He doesn't know about any of the buildings that he has and he's not using. So, these guys, this is a scouting maven of a game. I mean, there's so much scouting going on in this game, it's kind of ridiculous. At least DonQuixote knows where Jellypancake is. That's an up. It's terrible when that is the advantage you have in the game. So, we are almost 12 minutes into this game, and we are at 66 supply to 56 supply. These are some of the smallest supply numbers I've ever seen in a game. So we do have 2 medevacs out, and it looks like he is producing a 3rd one, so we may see some sort of drop play, considering he knows that they're actually close air positions. Jellypancake actually has no idea, so he is just mining away. He doesn't even like building an army. He's just here to play SimCity. He's here to mine minerals, build supply depots, build some buildings. He's not really here to fight. He's just here to hang out, and he just enjoys building SCVs and not building orbital commands, and he just enjoys mining. So that's all he's here for. He's not here for any sort of violence. Whereas we do have DonQuixote coming out of his base. Good for him. So we do have the first group of people coming out of the base for him. Jellypancake is at 94 supply, whereas DonQuixote is at 6. So we do have a big supply difference, but The supply difference is only because of the worker count. Jellypancake has almost triple the workers that DonQuixote has. So DonQuixote actually has a larger army, but he has, much less production. I would consider calling this an all-in, but it's so late in the game. It's not really an all-in from the beginning of the game. I mean, look at so few of those SCVs. He needs more SCVs. He essentially needs to win the game here. If he doesn't win the game here, he's going to be so far behind. But at the same time, Jellypancake has no army. Less of an army. And he is just mining. He's here for the SimCity. So he is loading up his units, and he is going to drop them in. Jellypancake has no idea of this. He's not even going to see this drop happen. He has no vision on this side of the map, so let's see. He doesn't know. He has no idea this drop is happening. Everyone just unloads right on the cliff. No reaction to it whatsoever. He has no vision on this side of the base. Gets the other ones, elevator up, and this is not going to be good for Jellypancake. Unfortunately, if he can hold this, he is so far ahead, and there's the stim, and he is going right for the units. He is not messing with any of those SCVs. He wants nothing to do with any sort of SCVs, and basically the only reason he's going to win this battle is because of the medevacs and because of the +1. So the medevacs should keep those units alive longer, and he should do slightly more damage from the +1. So he cleans up all of those units, he can take care of that barracks, and there is the left to gain. So Jellypancake was not pleased about that loss, and he did just leave the game. So that was what I like to call a Bronze League style game, which essentially is people just sit there for a while and they hope that their one attack wins the game. And in this case it did. Had he not won the game, he was so far behind economically, but at the same time Jellypancake was just doing nothing. So I'm not sure he would have ever actually attacked. So this is just a game that I want to show you guys. You know, it's a fun little game from Bronze League. There are other levels on the castit. I've seen some master level games. It's really just for people who want to get their games cast, or amateur casters who want to cast the game to the world. So thank you for watching. Just some quick plugs. You can go to my blog at www.DPadDBags.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Thegan, or you can follow us on Twitter at DPadDBags. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.